What's good, guys? Astro J back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about telekinesis. Definition of telekinesis is the ability to move objects with mental powers alone. Alright, there's also another name for telekinesis, which is psychokinesis. Same things. Definition is similar, moving objects with your mind. I see a lot of people trying to move objects with their mind, like tin foil, stuff like that. That's not really moving objects. You're just using air to push it. When you use tin foil, try using magnets. And try moving the magnets with your mind. Anyways, actually, very possible. Physically, is harder. I already got booted to a location actually, and I was able to lift the SUV car and rotate in the air gracefully and land it. SUVs are very heavy. It's a lot easier to lift up an SUV car and smash it on the ground because it's so heavy. To lift it up in the air and gracefully spin it on the ground, spin it in the air and drop it gracefully is a lot harder. You can do a lot with telekinesis. You can move rocks, you can move water, you can move metal, you can also move, your body too. You can also levitate with telekinesis. So, in this dimension I was able to rotate a SUV car and gracefully drop it on the ground. There's another location I went to where they had parked, I'll say RVs, and they also had underground water, what's it called? Underground river. Ocean water. It was like ocean water. It had underground ocean water. It even had a sign of all the creatures that were in there. In this dimension, they're studying the solar system. I'll say they were about teenagers. They're like teenager my age around there. They're studying the solar system with boulders. I was able to move boulders with my mind easily with 2 fingers. Boom, gracefully, and there were rocks. So, anyways, that's proof that telekinesis is real. You can literally move rocks. You can move water, metal, all that kind of stuff easily. Another example is I went to this dimension where I was being trained on how to move water. I got booted to a location where there was a lot of water, and they were seeing if I can actually move the water. So I was able just to spin the water, push the water, lift the water up in the air, drop it easily. With telekinesis, you can even move water, and the proper name for that is hydrokinesis, the ability to move water with your mind. That's very real too. They even showed it on Avatar. Now back to telekinesis. If you've seen Stranger Things, remember how in number 11 there's a scene where she was riding on a bike with her companions, and she was able to lift the SUV about, I'll say, 25 feet in the air. It wasn't an SUV, it was a van. She lifted up in the air, and she dropped it. She flipped it. That's a lot easier to do than lifting up in the air gracefully and dropping it smooth. She just lifted up in the air and dropped that shit. Bang. That's a lot easier to do. But anyways, that's very possible. You can, with telekinesis, if you have the right brain capacity and the right amount of force, you can lift up tons of weight easily, gracefully too, with ease. Physically, that's very hard to do in this dimension, but in higher dimensions, in the 5D and the astral realm, it's a lot easier to do. You can lift up objects easily with no problem. Another example, I was booted to a location that's called the Dream World. This was recently, last night. And I was fighting I would say weird individuals, a bunch of them, in the dream world. I was able to levitate. I didn't levitate my top height. I levitated about 18 feet in the air. I want to go even higher than that, maybe 30 feet in the air. I'm not there yet, but I'll get there. And anyways, I was able to lift the individuals who I was fighting. I was able to lift them up in the air, just like Star Wars, and put them in a chokehold. You can also do that with telekinesis too. You can lift people off in the air, just like in Star Wars. It's real. You lift them up in the air, put them in a chokehold, and drop them on the ground. What people don't talk about, I don't know if people really know about this yet. You can also put people to sleep with telekinesis. If you know how to do it. I did it with a child because it's one of the children were about to attack me. I didn't feel like fighting them, so I just went and I used my telekinesis and I put him to sleep easily. Since he has a younger mind, it's a lot easier to do. With adults, it would be a lot harder for me to do. With a younger mind, you can literally just make them sleepy and make them pass out easily with telekinesis. Because their mind is not fully developed yet. So it's easier to put them to sleep. Now, people don't really talk about this. I don't know if people really know about this yet. But it's very possible just to put people to sleep. So you don't, and when you do this, you don't even have to fight them anymore. They're just done. They're not. They're sleeping. So they're not going to be a threat anymore. What else you can do with telekinesis? Oh yeah, with telekinesis, you also can lift objects in the air. Lift them up in the air and jump on top of them and hover in the ground. Hover off the ground and float in the air. Kind of like in Static Shock when he was using his electrokinesis to grab a, I don't know if you've seen Static Shock. He's a DC superhero. He used to have it. I'll say it's an old show, but if you've seen it, he's a dark-skinned male who's able to drive around with electrokinesis. Anyways, he was able to lift the objects in the air and levitate on them and fly around. With telekinesis, you can do that too. Lift up an object in the air, hop on top of it, and levitate, and ride around it. You don't even need a vehicle at all with telekinesis. But that's even harder to do because then you have to control the object that's underneath you and lift it up on the air and fly with it. You can do a lot with telekinesis. Back to number 11. Number 11, if you've seen Stranger Things, she also was able to lift up and crush stuff with her mind. She wasn't even using her hands when she was doing it. It's a lot easier to pick up stuff with your hands when using telekinesis. In Stranger Things, she was able to lift objects in the air without even putting your arm out or anything. She just was using her mind. I want to be able to master telekinesis so I don't have to use my hand and grab stuff with my mind. I can just use my thoughts. Well, not really thoughts, but use my mind without using my hand to lift up objects. It's a lot easier to do it in the astral realm, for me at least. Physically, it's very hard. I was watching TikTok and there was this girl named Lulu. She's already able to. She's about my age. I believe. She's already able to lift 60-pound punching bags. She's already able to move a door, make a wind fan stop moving with telekinesis physically. That's very hard to do. Physically, at least for me. It takes a lot of mental strength to do that. Another thing I was going to say, she's Latina too. What was I going to say? You can go on TikTok and watch it for yourself. Some people are trying it, just like me, to move physically and it's not working out for them. People are even passing out. Kids my age, not only do I say kids, but guys my age are even passing out trying to use telekinesis physically. They're trying to prove their powers physically. That's very hard to do. A lot of people have telekinesis astrally and they're trying to prove it physically and it's not working out for them. Actually, it's very easy to do. It must be something with the atmosphere physically. I'm not too sure why. But I was surprised when I saw Lulu doing it physically easy. And you can just go on TikTok and look up telekinesis and you can see it for yourself. Not that hard at all. Yeah, so I'm also able to fly in an astral realm. Like I said before, you can also fly with telekinesis. I don't need telekinesis to fly. But with telekinesis, you also can fly. So, for all those people who know about telekinesis and have the ability to use telekinesis astrally, still try to do it physically. And if you're able to do it physically, I give you credit for that, because that's some hard shit right there. Yeah, so there's also a game called Star Wars Battlefront 2. Kylo Ren is able to use his telekinesis to go inside your mind and travel in there. You can also do that with telekinesis too, but that's a whole nother level. You can actually go inside someone's mind. That's another form of telekinesis. Go inside someone's mind and also be able to travel inside their mind in a dream state and paralyze them. But that's a whole nother level. That's some very hard shit. Kylo Ren was able to do that in the video game Battlefront 2. If you have Battlefront 2, definitely play it. They show it. They show it right in there. And let me see. Yeah, so that's all I have to say about telekinesis. Very real. You know what I mean? For people who know about it, props to you. But yeah, so you can even, I was wondering if you can even teach telekinesis. But I believe that's only an ability that certain people have. Some people, there's a lot of naysayers saying that telekinesis is not real. They're using strings to do stuff. All that bullshit. Telekinesis is very real. Some people just don't have the right brain capacity to do it. And that's what makes it difficult for other people to do it. Astro J out with this video.